The New York Jets have added Tariq Cohen. What does it all mean, and who could be in jeopardy? We discuss.
Zoinks? It is unequivocally the Super Bowl for New York Jet fans.
Field Yates, baby. Field gosh darn Yates. Let's bring him on the show.
Come on, people. Connor Rogers is joining the show. What's up, Connor? But Trevor gosh darn Sycamore, baby, for me, personally, my favorite New York Jet of all time.
Wow, it's great to be on. What an intro that was right there.
Paul, nobody does an intro like you, man.
Paul, you give the best intro of literally any podcast that I've ever been.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas.
What's poppin', everybody? Paul Leston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video program, also available wherever you get your gosh darn podcast. So let's dive right into it here. And thank you to everyone who's watching on all the different platforms. Heavy on Jets. Shout out to Heavy. YouTube.com/BoyGreen25. And on Twitter. Make sure you guys like the video. Hit subscribe. Tariq Cohen is now a member of the New York Jets. He's a former All-Pro kick return specialist. Back in 2018, he was a Pro Bowler and a first-team All-Pro member. So he's got some chutzpah in that department. And when you listen to Saleh talk about kind of what he brings to the table after the fact, you hear, because again, the news was reported yesterday morning in the middle of my radio show, and then Saleh spoke shortly thereafter, where he got to talk about the news at his presser. So he got to kind of break his first comments in on Tariq Cohen joining the team. And to be honest, I think it's a little bit of an interesting ad. I was kind of curious because Rich Cimini, for a large portion of this offseason, has been going up. Watch out for the veteran running back. Watch out for the veteran running back. And I've been kind of curious about it because, again, early in the offseason, I thought that's what they were going to do. But once they drafted a couple of these kids in Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis, I started to say, man, where is this veteran going to fit? And like, certainly it makes sense for, potential camp activity or what have you. But I wasn't so sure where he was going to fit or who that person would be and whether or not they would, you could get the right guy to take like dirt cheap money, which is quite frankly what the Jets were looking for. And now when they've added Tariq Cohen here, everything starts to make a lot more sense because Tariq Cohen isn't only a running back, and we're going to go through what he brings to the table here for the New York Jets, but it goes even beyond that for me. It goes even beyond that. Why don't we do this? We're going to play Saleh's clip in case you missed it yesterday from his press conference with the media. It actually kicked off the presser, and we'll go right to that footage here to hear Robert Saleh talk about the new addition of Tariq Cohen. Yeah, let's roll the footage.
Tariq Cohen signing.
Was the question?
I bet that you would be the one that asked. That's a good Tariq, explosive playmaker. He's starting to get back healthy. But, with the new kickoff rules and these kick returners, they're gonna touch the ball over 100 times a year, which is significant. And at least that's what we're anticipating. And a guy like him, he's still young, obviously coming off his injuries, but we're excited to have him aboard.
This is pre-you, but I remember Brant talking very highly of him several years ago. What was his reaction when you guys got this?
He's pumped up about it. I've heard all the stories, but I think we share it. From a defensive standpoint, having the game plan against him when he was with the Bears, he was a nightmare. I know when we played them, he had a punt return for a touchdown back at Soldier Field. So he's a playmaker.
Playmaker. That's what Robert Saleh said that he was. So there's a lot of different facets to get into here with Tariq Cohen. First off, I'll just mention that Saleh stat. He anticipates over 100 plus kick return touches this year for the New York Jets. For context, shout out to Ari Meroff of the 33rd team. Last year, the league leader in kick returns was the Green Bay Packers with 31. Robert Saleh said with this new kickoff rule, he's anticipating 100. So triple the amount of touches. That's why this is such an important position when you have to factor in your roster construction. And a big piece of that puzzle will be who the hell is returning the ball. Now, Robert Saleh did say during this press conference as well that first dibs belongs to Xavier Gibson, and he'll get the first crack at the pinata, but he did make it very clear that it is an open competition. So I'll be kind of curious to see what happens. Tariq Cohen is a perfect low-risk, high-reward move. The low risk is, and we're about to walk through his very disturbing, I don't even know what other word to say, crazy, wild, bizarre injury history. I don't think I've ever heard of a player that suffered this many injuries over such a short amount of time. And again, we're going to get into that. So he signed for nothing, probably. And if he makes a team and he has that all-pro, Pro Bowl, really good return ability, then boom, it's worth it because of the new numbers that are coming in. If the injuries continue, persist, you cut him and you lose nothing. So I don't think there's anything wrong with this move whatsoever, quite frankly, from the New York Jets perspective. Let's get into the injuries real quick. And if you don't know the Tariq Cohen story, buckle up, people, because this is really sad, more so than anything else. So it starts off good. Again, remember, he was a Pro Bowler, a first-team All-Pro in 2018 for his return abilities. At the beginning of 2020, this is September, he signs a lucrative 3-year deal for $17.25 million. Again, we have a full article in the YouTube description down below. But he signs a 3-year deal for $17.25 million with the Bears. In week 3 of that season, just a handful of weeks later, he tears his ACL, his MCL, and has a tibial plateau fracture in his leg. Boom, he's out for the season. The injury was so gruesome that he had to miss all of 2021 due to complications from that injury. So he's out for most of 2020. He's out for all of 2021. He's in the middle of his comeback in 2022, and I didn't even include this in the story, but during his first comeback attempt, again, in 2022, there was an Instagram live stream of him working out when he collapsed to the ground because he blew out his Achilles. Oh, first off, just blowing it out in general, but blowing it out in the public eye as you're training and showing that you're back, brutal. So he misses 2020, misses 2021, misses 2022. Finally, in 2023, a year after, he was finally medically cleared, and that is when he had his latest opportunity. He spent portions of last season on the Carolina Panthers practice squad. He was also signed earlier this offseason to a reserve future contract, but the Panthers let him go about 20 days ago, and then the Jets jumped on him yesterday. So, I mean, the slew of injuries are just, you feel for the guy. And I remember feeling for him. He wasn't even a Jets guy. I was just feeling from him from afar as a human being, because these are all human beings. At the end of the day, they're not just chess pieces for a football team. And boy, man, how could you not feel bad for that guy? So I'm rooting for his comeback attempt. He has not played in an NFL game since 2020, according to the Pro Football Reference stats. Looked like he was involved in maybe some preseason action or something for the Carolina Panthers, but, Tariq Cohen. So now the Jets are kind of kicking a tire, throwing a dart throw, and we'll see what happens. So that is the latest on Tariq Cohen, who, by the way, now that he's here, this is from our guy, Robbie Sabo of Jets X Factor. He believes that is bad news for Israel Abanikanda. Here's what he said on Twitter, quote, "Not a great sign for him that Tariq Cohen is in-house," referencing Abanikanda. And I've been talking to a few of the team insiders, as you guys have seen on these Boy Green Daily shows, live every day at 7:30 in the morning, and they believe his roster spot is very much in jeopardy. Because when I've talked to people around the league and kind of trying to, talk to people that cover teams and all this stuff, they were debating whether or not the Jets should keep 3 or 4 running backs. Like, they thought the floor was 3, and we have 3 roster locks already. Breece Hall, you have obviously Braylon Allen, and you have Isaiah Davis. Here's another stat that I cooked up, okay, on why those it may seem like a lock, but here's this stat. Since Joe Douglas took over, remember, he was hired in June of 2019, but he didn't take over drafting until 2020. Between 2020 and 2023, 30 of the 31 players he drafted made the 53-man roster. The only exception is Zach Kuntz last year was a 7th-round pick. He was cut at the end of preseason, and then he immediately was brought back on the practice squad. So Joe Douglas, in other words, keeps his guys that he drafts. And plus, especially when they're much higher picks like this, instead of a 7th-round dart throw, we're talking about some 5th-round draft choices here, or 4th round in Braylon Allen's case, end of the 4th round and then 5th round for Isaiah Davis. These are guys who are making the roster. So those two are making the roster. Breece Hall's making the roster. And if they're only keeping 3, those are your 3. But if they keep a 4th, you're now duking it out between Tariq Cohen and Israel Abanikanda. Ring the bell, baby, and let's see what happens in the fight. So TBD. A lot of stuff to get into. We'll get into your comments here in just a second. I saw someone ask, what is the Zoinks thing all about that people say? What is the origin of that? I'll tell you. Sluggo. So I'm going to get the years wrong now, but I think it was last February. Not this February that just happened. I think it was the year before. I get an email from the New York Jets, and they want me to do that in-house documentary about Jets Twitter and Jets social media and all this stuff. So I do that interview, and they bring in one of the reporters' rooms, which I didn't know that till like kind of after. Like you're recording, there's cameras on you, there's lights on you and everything. And I did not know I'd already blown up my ACL. I was on crutches more so I thought for precaution, but my ACL was actually exploded. Anywho, I go in the room and they sit you down for like 45 minutes, ask you questions like, which quarterback do you want? Do you want Derek Carr, Aaron Rodgers? I said Aaron Rodgers. But then they go through this whole gambit and say, like, what would your reaction be if Aaron Rodgers was traded to the Jets? What would your reaction be if this? And they put it all together, and those were just my natural reaction. I was like, Zoinks, or the one where I'm like, I would lose my gosh darn bananas. Like, all of that was just stuff that happened in the middle of that 45 minutes. I have no idea where some of that came from. It just happened. Maybe I said that before. I can't even remember. But boom. And then now I just get tweeted it all the time, and I love it. That's cool. It's part of the brand now, baby. So Scooby-Doo, where are you? We got to do like a joint episode or something. That's probably the only natural thing to come. Also, guys, feel free to like the video. Got over 400 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. Also, if you want to guarantee your comment gets answered, jump into the YouTube Super Chat feature, and we'll get to those quickly. But I'll try to get to as many of the comments as I can. We have Sluggo here who says, Cohen is shifty and like all small running backs can get lost in the crowd. Give him a shot, I say. I think he'll be returning more than playing running back. Could be wrong. Yeah, probably. That would be my guess. Now, as a running back, he's all right. But as a receiver out of the backfield, actually, he's got some pretty good numbers from that perspective. That would be an intriguing part for me when you talk about Tariq Cohen, is that there's a little bit of, which we should tell Nathaniel Hackett, LOL. But no, in all seriousness, there's a little bit there from Tariq Cohen that'd be kind of interested to see what else he could kind of have in the bag that perhaps the Jets can kind of tap out here. This is in his career. He has 209 catches for 1,500 receiving yards and 9 receiving touchdowns. On the ground, he has 264 carries for 1,100 yards. He has more receiving yards than he has rushing yards. Put that one in your pipe. Pretty interesting. Plus, obviously, you have the return stuff. So, yeah, that could make a lot of sense. And again, with 100-plus touches, that is a position you have to have on the roster. And it kind of helps if you can hit multiple things with, one thing. Williams says, unfortunately, the Mets are making the Red Sox look good. I saw, the Mets have lost their 15th game in their last 18 attempts, losing 15 of 18. Yikes. And then throwing gloves in stands and a couple injuries. Edwin Diaz, Pete Alonso. Yikes. Sucks to be a Met fan right now, I guess. Anywho. All right, let's keep rolling here on the comments. I am a mini golfer, not a golfer, but I appreciate the question. Let's see. Greg, in all caps, why get another running back that hasn't played in 4 years? Well, I would say another running back that hasn't played in 4 years. I think he's the only one who hasn't played in 4 years. But I think I understand the theme of it, is why sign another running back? Well, they got rid of like Marquise Stepp. I didn't even know who that was. So to get rid of a guy that you're kind of like, who is that, to a name you recognize, nothing wrong with that. Again, it's a dart throw. If it was like they signed him to a 4-year deal for $99 million, like, okay, maybe we should probably investigate that a little bit more, but whatever. It's a, when you're the Jets, again, what you should be doing is first world problem. Like, you bought a new house and you're like, could we use a gold-plated toilet? Why not? Like, you're like trying to do those extra accessories that, you're just trying to kick the rocks on. Because to be honest, Greg, there's not a lot of weaknesses for the New York Jets. Now, there's like things that could go wrong, like injuries, like any team. But in terms of specifically what are holes on the roster, like, oh boy, that's a terrible hole. There's not a lot of those terrible holes on the roster. Even the positions that you question, you can survive, like safety. I've heard some people talking about safety being this terrible room. I disagree. I like Chuck Clark a lot. And Tony Adams has upside, and he made a lot of splash plays last year. He's not a perfect player. I'm not saying that at all, but, I'm fine with that room. If they add Justin Simmons in a month or two, cool. But again, that goes more to the point of what we're saying here of like adding things to the room and seeing what happens. Worst case, Tariq Cohen continues the injury stuff and then he disappears. I don't know. Phil, are we collecting all the often injured players? You might as well embrace it, Phil, as far as I'm concerned. Like, people are making fun of you. I remember the Lakers a couple years ago had like the oldest roster in the NBA at like 37 years of age. They had like, I think they had, did Melo ever go there? I can't remember. But, whatever. They had a bunch of old guys on that team. And yeah, I think so. I can't remember. But it doesn't matter. The point is, like, the Lakers had this old-ass roster, and then they just kind of were there. Now, it didn't work out. I don't think there was a year they won the championship in the bubble, but you know what? Everyone's making fun of the Jets for being this potentially injured team. Just keep signing guys. Okay? Who knows? Will they stay healthy? I don't know. Dakota says, when healthy, Cohen is good. Or a question. He is good. Or that was a rhetorical question. But yeah, he is a really good player. Yeah, really talented. You won't mistake him for LaDainian Tomlinson in his prime, but we don't need him to be that. NC, part of the Boy Green Superfan Club, asked, does Tariq make a Benny Kanda expendable? Absolutely, he does. I'm going to be honest. I thought things looked slim and bleak for Benny Kanda before Cohen was added. Now he's added? Oh, boy. That just made things a little bit more difficult. Izzy to the hizzy might be Izzy to the unemployment line. That could be where he's heading. We'll see. But again, it's worth a dart throw on Cohen. So I'm kind of curious. Again, there's a lot of questions. Those are a lot of serious injuries we documented there. And we're going to have to see what happens. Dakota says, we are utilizing Cohen for special teams. I think special teams only. Izzy's job may be safe after all. I don't know, man. To be able to keep 5 running backs, how in God's green earth? Because you have Brees, you have the 2 rookies. You're saying Cohen is special teams. Then you have Izzy, 5 running backs at a 53-man roster. That's not pretty good roster construction. That would surprise me. 5 running backs, even with the special teams rules. Not sure. I do not think so. Khalil, good comment on Facebook. The Heavy on Jets page. Preseason kick return be important this year. Because, I looked more into, because we had Brandon Pacris on the program yesterday morning, and he said that he hasn't seen any of the special team stuff in OTAs. And one of the reasons is because it's not full speed yet. So why waste your time doing it? So we're not going to see it till like training camp preseason. So people are going to lose their minds because there's a lot. I know a lot of fans, Jet fans even, that unplug after the season. They don't care about any of this offseason stuff. They watch a season, they watch the playoffs, watch Super Bowl, and then they just disappear for months. And then they're going to show back up and go, what the hell? Hey, yo, what the? That's what's going to be the response when they're seeing that in preseason. What is this? They play Madden. They open up the new Madden video game, pop that in. And they're gonna think that's weird. Matthias here, by the way, hit the button on the milk thumbs. And it's funny you say that, Matthias, because guess what? I will announce it now. On Boy Green Meets Woody at 3 o'clock, Boy Green and Green Bean are reunited, baby. That's coming up at 3 o'clock today. I can't remember the last show that I did with Green Bean. It could have been a year. It could be multiple years. I have no idea. But it's been too damn long, and we're reuniting. That's coming up at 3 o'clock. Green Bean, Boy Green. Make sure you guys check it out. It'll be me and Green Bean and Woody. We'll be talking about a lot of these additional comments. So I hope you guys can check that out. Phil, my question is, why did the Panthers let him go? Well, I mean, a slew of injuries, There's plenty of reasons that they let him go. Plenty of reasons. Yeah. The Panthers are not going to be really good this year either, so it could have been a request to release. Could have been. I don't know. We don't know the behind the scenes. But I actually did reach out to Tariq Cohen's people. We'll see if we could get him on the show. I put that out there in the universe. We'll see what happens. Khalil asks, why do we gamble with signing injured returning players? Gamble, I think, is a relative term because depending on the player, the gamble is different. Tyron Smith, sure, you're gambling, but it's only $6.5 million guaranteed. The $13.5 million in incentives are protected. So that's a worthwhile gamble to me. You go to Tariq Cohen. He probably got signed, I would imagine, for the veteran minimum. So if he's great, you got him at a discount. If he sucks, you move on. I mean, go through the guys. Mike Williams. Now he's got a slightly higher guarantee. I think his is like around 10 mil, somewhere in that ballpark. But his incentives, the 6 or 7 million in incentives, are protected. So there isn't a move I don't think the Jets made that are like, oh boy, like they gave. Again, I'm using these crazy examples. It's not like they gave Tariq Cohen $50 million. So I think the gambles are calculated gambles, and I'm fine making calculated gambles. That's my take on it. And apparently Carolina has plenty of running backs. Yeah, Miles Sanders and a couple other dudes. And see, Xavier Gibson has to not fumble. Those are game killers. Yeah, he rode such an emotional high in the season opener, and then he's got to get back to that. So we'll see. Alan says, curious if Aaron Rodgers and the boys head to the Garden tonight. Go Panthers. Oof, Alan, you're the heel of this group, and I'm sure they love it. You're the heel of this group, pal. We'll see. Oh yeah, let me double check. I was at the station last night when it was 2-2 Stars Oilers. Oh wow, the Oilers ended up winning. Nice. Okay, knotted up the series. Fantastic. Yeah, they got off to a quick 2-0 lead, and then I was doing some of my sports updates at the station, the radio station. And then Oilers tied it up, and they ended up winning it. Nice. Series tied 2-2. Okay, great. That's good to see on the hockey side. All right, we'll get some fun stuff in the hockey playoffs. R&R with the joke. Does Hackett know he can catch the ball? That's a good one. We'll see if he is. And we will open up the phone lines here momentarily, guys, in a little bit. Onomatopoeia. That's right. Cartoon noises is basically all that happens there. 3 tight end sets. Sure, I'm all for all kinds of jumbo packages. Let's get freaky. William says, Cohen, a few people have had this take. Cohen has to stay healthy, or is he safe? Again, if they keep 4 running backs, we will see. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, my God. Green Bean's going to be in his heyday today. Kenny Yeboah. Connor Hughes of SNY said on social media, this was before the clip, but that Kenny Yeboah. Whoa, that was weird. All right, sorry about that, guys. Okay, anywho, that was odd. Connor Hughes said Kenny Yeboah has been flashing at OTAs. So, I'll have to ask that. You've got to remind me, Matthias. Make sure you hop on later on the afternoon show so I can ask that question to Green Bean. I got to remember that. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know why the Jets love running back so much, but Braylon Allen looks like the RB2 from what everyone is saying. Yeah, apparently Bobby's been working on his own show. That would explain the gaps in time, I think. That's for sure. Yeah, did a cat walk across the keyboard? I have no idea. What's happening. Anywho, we got 600 people in the room, so let's try to keep staying alive, baby. Tia, one last question before we open up the phone lines. Cohen signing and product of the new kickoff return rules. Absolutely they are. They absolutely are. Yeah, because Robert Sauer said he's anticipating 100+ attempts for his returners, which, by the way, last year, the league leader was 31 with the Packers. So that is over triple the amount coming with these new kickoff rules. So it should change the game. It should deserve more of our discussion on the show, to be honest with you. I'm surprised we haven't had more chutzpah about it, to be candid. But hey, that's what we're doing right now, baby. Okay. Let's see here. Let me open up this. All right. The video call-in line is getting open up, folks. Whether you're a first-time caller or a multi-time offender, feel free. That is now in the comment section. And the comment is now pinned. So you have to be over on YouTube, youtube.com/boygreen25. It is the pinned comment. Being a relatively quiet space, and I will see you hop up here on the green room, and then we'll bring you on the show to talk all things New York Jets, or God forbid, whatever else is on your mind. So make it happen. Click that link, baby. All right, we're getting callers in right now already. So let's dive right into it. Let's go straight off the board to our boy EZ here on the show. What's up, my brother?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, what's poppin'?
Why the hell did... Oh, there it is. I was looking for the 57 stone.
No.
No, I wrote that little thing in about, I thought it would be interesting to have like a 3 tight end set with Breece Hall and Malachi Corley and call it the Bruiser package, but it would be a pass play. I think, like if it's like 3rd and 4 or something, you put that play in. You have all your biggest, toughest bruiser guys. And this way, if you have to throw it short of the first down, with 5 guys in that can catch a pass that could, muscle their way, I thought it would be a really interesting package.
Yeah, I like the violence that's there. I heard Garrett Wilson talking about Malachi yesterday. He was calling him like a bowling ball and a brute and this like vicious guy. And the pads aren't even fully on yet at this point where you're making serious contact. So I like it. That's a unique package.
I also heard another commentator talking about Malachi Corley, and they were talking that sometimes guys look good in shorts, but they don't look good when they got the pads on. They think with Corley, he's the guy. He may not look that good with the shorts on because he's a little slower, but he's probably an animal once he puts the pads on.
That's a good call. There's a lot of those kind of players, like, again, especially running backs, because like it's hard to stand out now because you can't tackle the guys. You're not seeing the contact or contact balance or any of those things. That's a good call. That's a good call. We might get more stuff.
You don't see the violence. You don't see the violence.
Yeah.
That's why I think on like a 3rd and 4 or something like that, Aaron Rodgers back there, why run it? Just have those 5 big guys in there and create mismatches.
I love it. Also, quick thing on Corley. If you guys did not see that yesterday, he left practice at first. We're like, oh no, another injury. And then he returned without his helmet. Zach Rosenblatt texted people around and he said, not serious. Shouldn't be anything to worry about. So thank God.
Yeah, he just got dinged up.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to there's a lot of people on, so I'm going to let you go, and you have a good day, buddy.
I appreciate that. EZ, my boy. Always out there. Let's salute our truckers, baby. He's doing God's work there. Okay, what this one looks a little weird. Not sure. Okay, let's just do it. Bobby in the palatial estate. I can see party, Bobby.
Oh, hold on a minute. Did I come back? I know what I did wrong, okay?
Okay, all right.
I'll come back to you. I'll call you. I know what I did from last night. That's okay. I'll be back.
Yeah, I could see your head popping up every once in a while.
Yeah, I know. I don't have a green screen. How's that?
Oh, there you go. There you go, Bobby. Nice house. I like it.
Much better than my other apartment, right?
Yeah, this is nice. So, is this because of the success of the new show? You've moved into a new place?
Yeah.
Wow. Congratulations.
Should I go back to the old thing? I don't think this is...
No. This is great. This is great. I like the piano over there. That's very nice. Wow, this is a wonderful estate. Yeah.
Yeah, do you like it?
Yeah, it's
tried it
nice.
out yesterday. I got my own show, so whenever you want to come on, you could come on.
What, to your house? I hope so. I haven't gotten an invite, but that does look nice.
Show.
Oh, yes, the show. Yes, of course.
Yeah, you can come on anytime you want. And
then, when are you on? Let me ask you that. When are you on?
Well, today, what's his name's going to be on
Who?
Jake today? Joe Beningo. I'm going to talk to
Whoa.
Joe Beningo
Okay.
today.
Do you come on a certain time every day, or is it kind of
Well,
floats?
it depends on who's on. So
Oh, okay.
yesterday went on after Jake.
Oh, so you're flexible around your guest schedules. That's important.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Because I don't want to step on anybody's feet.
Yeah, sure.
I used to do that in the past, and then I got on wrong times. I got on like when people had dinner,
Sure.
and then the other people had sports on and all that. So
Yeah,
do you see what Sluggo wrote in the comments?
Where is he
Battle of
here?
the Beards.
Oh yeah. Oh, I missed that one. Yeah, maybe the comments are coming in faster than I think.
3:00.
Okay, nice. Yeah. We're getting a lot of stuff in here. I like it. Yeah.
Is
So,
it
Bobby,
raining
this
where
is.
you are? Is it pouring where you are?
I don't know. It doesn't look like I could just kind of see a little bit of a peek outside of one of my windows here, and I just see sun. So I'm not sure if it's
pouring
raining here in New
where I
York.
It's pouring where I live.
Oh, okay. It doesn't look like it. I'm looking outside your windows, and it looks like great weather as far as I can see.
Wait, did it look like a little sweet?
Yeah, it certainly does, pal. Yeah.
I'm drinking more water and then I've been exercising now because of.
Oh, great! That's
weather's
awesome,
getting
Bobby.
better. Yeah, my back feel a lot better. I'm gonna go back to work soon too. So.
Well, I'm glad your back's feeling better because you're carrying us here, Bobby,
Yeah.
on your back with all of your success. So we appreciate that, pal. You got to make sure that back's healthy.
Yes, it is. Oh, yes, I know. Okay, I'll let you go, and I'll talk to you soon.
Well, thank you for inviting me into your palatial estate, Bobby. That is a wonderful house, and I'm very proud and happy for you. There's no doubt about it. No question. Wow, Bobby. Yeah, NY Jets FL. Bobby is a big star now. Like, he doesn't call in first anymore. He just kind of moseys in. Hey, when you have a successful show like that, I'm surprised he even calls in my show anymore because I'm some schlub. But look at that guy. So interesting. Okay, let's keep the questions going here. Let's go to we got Tio here on the program. What's up, Tio? In a equally almost as extravagant house. What's up, pal?
What's going on, Paul? First of all, Bobby, you should have asked him to play the piano back there. That
missed opportunity.
Missed that,
stroking the
you missed that
ivories. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Hey, I just want to say Bobby's show is excellent. He has a wealth of characters that come on there, and they talk sports, they talk life. I just want to plug his show. It comes on at different times, so like and subscribe to his channel and put that bell on so that anytime he comes on, you can see him at his greatest moments. So Bobby, great job on your new show, and I'm just I'm supporting that as well. I love it. So yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Tarik Cohen signing, and
Sure.
I mentioned in the comments about the new kickoff rules. But I also wanted to mention that Aaron Rodgers saw a lot of Tariq Cohen in Green Bay playing the
NFC
Bears.
North, right?
Yeah. So I would think that Aaron Rodgers had some influence in this signing, possibly because of his seeing him in playing against the Bears all the time. And let me tell you, Tariq Cohen for a moment, for 2 years of his career, was probably one of the most electrifying running back / kickoff punt returners during
offensive
that time.
Weapon. Yeah, right.
Yeah, he was an offensive weapon. I mean, he would do jet sweeps and play kind of H-back role and come out the backfield. So all of that is in play if he's healthy, and that's the biggest point. The biggest ability is availability, and that's what we need to see out of him. And I could definitely see him taking Izzy's spot if it comes down to it, because of the sheer talent that he has. I had him in like fantasy just for those years, because he was catching balls, running. I mean, any moment he would pop off for 50, 60-yard run. So he was fantasy gold for that period of time. So I remember him, and I hope I wish him well.
Of course.
Another thing that I wanted to mention also was
Sluggo says nice shirt. VR.
Thank you.
That is a very nice shirt.
This
Very
one is
nice.
this one is custom. I did this one custom, and I got I'll wear the white one tomorrow and come on the
Very
show and
nice.
sport that one.
Oh, excellent! Please
match
do.
it with the hat. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Oh,
nice.
most definitely. Yeah. I gotta rock. Jets all day.
Yeah.
Unlike people clowning me for the for the Yankee hat with the Florida
nice.
holiday vibe shirt that I had on the other day.
Hey,
I
it's
like
the
that
summer,
one too,
baby.
by the way.
Yeah, right. That's right.
And I got to keep up with you, man, with the Jets hats.
That's
obviously.
true. That's
one
true.
other point that I
do.
wanted to make real quick, Paul.
Yes.
About in the Twitterverse, there was a post about AI, projecting the wide receiver.
Oh, I saw that.
Did you
Yes.
see that? Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull that up. Let me see if I can find that real quick.
It was really interesting because then we started talking about so what is the over under on Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams, and then they added in Malachi Corley. But
yeah, here it is. Let me throw this up on the screen. For those who may have missed it and may not be Twitter people. All right, let me see. I think I got it right here. Okay, here we go. So here it is. This is the AI predicts the Jets stats for the 2024 season. And for our audio-only listeners, I'll read it real quick. So it's projecting stuff for Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams, Malachi Corley. I'll go in order here. So Garrett Wilson, 104 receptions, 1,352 yards, 12 touchdowns. For Mike Williams, 75 catches, 1,056 yards, 10 touchdowns. Malachi Corley, 62 catches, 811 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Those were the numbers. But go ahead, go ahead, VR.
Yeah, so I was looking in that and having some conversations about this, thought exercise. And I don't disagree with the Garrett Wilson and even the Mike Williams AI predictions. The only one that I disagree with is the Malachi Corley. And I think that he's going to split snaps with, pick the tight end, whether, that's going to be Conklin, Ruckert, whoever. I think Conklin this year is probably going to be close to those receiving numbers and those touchdowns. I think he's going to be a big red zone target this year for Aaron Rodgers. So that's the only thing that I would switch out. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think the Garrett Wilson numbers, while some people may go, whoa, I mean, he's had near 100 catches in his first 2 years. He's had the 83 and the 90 something, and then now to jump a progressive to 104 in this particular case makes sense. The 1,300 bump with Rodgers makes sense, and then the touchdowns. Obviously, he's only had 7 through his first 2 years, but I think he's long overdue for a touchdown surge there. Mike Williams, I'd probably go a little bit fewer on the catches, but keep some of the other numbers because I think there's going to be a lot of explosive plays for Mike Williams. So I'm not sure if it'll be as consistent as 75 catches. That'd be a consistent number throughout a 17-game season. And then give or take that he might miss some games. We don't know if he's going to be ready for training camp. So I'd probably get that catch number down a little bit. And then I agree on Corley. I just think not only is he going to be split with some of those other guys, you go to Conklin or even Xavier Gibson getting involved or what have you. But I think he's just going to be this kind of do-it-all weapon. I think, to your point, you are going to see some of these Tariq Cohen-like jet sweeps, things of that nature. So if you told me 811 total yards from scrimmage, I'm like, okay, sure. I can see him getting there in a unique way, but purely as a receiver, maybe he surprises me. I won't say us. I won't generalize. Maybe he surprises me by all of a sudden he's a more ready game receiver from a pure receiver perspective right off the get-go than I'm thinking. So I think the catches and yards are going to be down for him. And then receiving touchdowns, again, same sort of thing. If you would have told me total touchdowns and there's some creative ways that he can score, maybe. So I would kind of negate that a little bit. But I think the thing about that I've seen from Twitter responses to this overall going LOL only in make-believe land, if you go to the 2015 Ryan Fitzpatrick season, Brandon Marshall had 109 catches for 1,050. I don't know why I remember these off the top of my head, but he had 109 catches for 1,502 yards and 14 touchdowns. That was Breece Hall or Brandon Marshall, excuse me.
Brandon Marshall, yeah.
Yeah. So that would top all of these numbers that Garrett Wilson had, plus
then
Eric
Eric
Decker.
Decker. Yeah.
He had basically this season Mike Williams had, where he had just barely over 1,000 yards, and I think he had 12 touchdowns in that season. So the first two are basically Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker. So it has happened in recent Jets memory. That was only 9 years ago. So I think it is possible. I don't think this is all totally make-believe land, but there would be a few things if I was, adjusting the numbers that I would factor in. Yeah.
Sure. And the bottom line to this thought exercise is, guess what? We have an offense this year. We're going to be explosive for the first time in a very, very long time. I mean, speaking of which, 2015 was that year with Marshall and Decker and Fitzpatrick. So that was the Chan Gailey offense, if I remember correctly. So
that's correct.
That's what we're looking forward to this season with Aaron Rodgers and this offense, and I can't wait. So, bottom line, this is what we have to look forward to, and I'm so happy about it. I can't wait for the seasons to start. We're here at May 30th.
Yes, I know, man. We're fired up already.
Paul, as always, thank you so much. You do a great job. I got my coffee and Boy Green.
All right. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. Tio joining us here on the show. And we got a visitor, Zariah Luna. Say hello. Oh, wait, we got to play your intro when you come in, Zariah. Here's your thing. Where is this? Oh, here it is. Wow. Wow. Zariah Luna. Say hello to the world. World, say hello to Zariah Luna. Yeah, there's 700 people in the room. Like the video. Hit subscribe. All that stuff. Good sleepy? Huh? Yeah, those are the people. That's right, the people. Okay, I'll see you later, okay, honey? Daddy's got to finish the show. I know, Daddy's got to finish the show. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry, hon. Ah, jeez. All right, well, let's go back to the phone lines. We've got B-Mac here on the program. What's up, B-Mac?
Hey, Polyball Green. Congratulations on the sex.
Yeah, thanks,
twice.
pal. I appreciate that. That's right. Did you get a new camera, by the way? You look a little bit more crisp.
No, it's the same to me.
Okay, all right. Wow, you seem even sharper this time. All right.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. Nice.
Of course, I got the TV in the background.
Oh, that's nice. You did that for Alan. That's really nice of you. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not Mariska though. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
Supposedly who he likes.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, as you look at the bottom of my thing here, he is a bitch. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I got some interesting topics for you. But first of all, I just wanted to get one little thing out of the way. A lot of people was like, it's like people are not lying that the Jets are like a magnifying glass, you know what I mean? Like with some little thing, you know what I mean? The whole social media wars on top of it. But one thing about Rodgers' little hiccup yesterday, I think they said he had a blister, but he's fine.
Yes. I'm glad that you brought this up because a lot of people were freaking out. And how can we not? Especially when we're not there as fans, most of us, right? We're just seeing Twitter updates and things of that nature. So, yeah, Aaron Rodgers had a footwear issue, but apparently it was, first off, it was the other foot, so it wasn't the Achilles foot. So, first off, number one, that's good news. Number two, it seemed to be blisters. It seemed to be, like sometimes I think we can relate to this in a common sense. You have the wrong shoes on, wrong sock to shoe, that sort of thing. And all of a sudden you get a quick change. So that seems like all it was. There's nothing more than a hiccup. And same thing, like I said, for the Malachi Corley thing, that it seems like, according to Zach Rosenblatt, nothing to worry about there. So on both notes, thankfully, nothing serious. So Aaron Rodgers apparently was like a footwear issue. We didn't speak with Rodgers yesterday. That was last week, but it seems like all it was.
Yeah, and it seems like he was back back practicing and and finished practice. So
yeah,
so hope so yeah. I mean, he's fine.
But thank you for asking about that. That's good because, like I said, a lot of people were overreacting to that yesterday. So
yeah, and look, how can you not? What happened last year? You know me in 4 snaps. So of course,
right.
like
I don't blame him.
And Jet fans, like and I think you're gonna see a ton this season. The second Rodgers drops back, he gets sacked. Like Jet fans are gonna be like holding their breaths. Might pass out. Oh my God.
That first contact is going to
okay?
be so important, B-Mac. That first contact and seeing him go down and going, and then he needs to get back up and stay back up. Because remember, the September 11th, he got hit, went to the ground, got back up, and immediately sat back down and shook his head. I'm like, oh, God, no. So, yeah, we're going to have to go past 4 snaps. We're going to have to see him get a hit first. Hopefully he doesn't get hit at all. But, naturally in a football game, something's going to happen. So we just need to see him. He needs it. He was going to talk about that on a couple of podcast appearances. He wants to get, he didn't say this. I'm kind of paraphrasing, but punched in the mouth and then go, okay, everything's okay. I'm fine. I'm Aaron Rodgers, So
but I mean, especially he hasn't played football in over a year. So,
right.
Which I do think he's going to respond to it because, look, it's not like he's a rookie,
Of course.
And in his career, he's been sacked 530 times, and he won, and I think that's the third most behind Russell Wilson and Tom Brady.
Wow.
And man's been dominating still and winning 4 MVPs. So, he's a tough guy. So.
For sure.
He can take hits and keep coming. But that's aside. And then
okay.
And the other one I wanna does it annoy you that Miami Dolphin fans, I don't get why they're so cocky all the time, despite winning nothing in the past 25 years. They act like they are the Patriots and they're this dynasty and they won 7 or 8 Super Bowls. And the reason I bring that up because there was a clip yesterday on Twitter that I guess there was an interview with some guy, and then he said, just because you're having Aaron Rodgers, you're not going to win. Because
I did see that. That was a podcast appearance. It's some he's like a singer or something. Darius Rucker, Darius something. I don't know. I don't listen to that music, but whoever he was, he's a Dolphins fan, and he said something to the effect of, I saw this clip. He said something to the effect of, I don't know why you guys think if you get Aaron Rodgers, everything's going to be okay. You're still the Jets. And he tried to slam on him for that. And I know why, I guess now I'm about to say it, but I don't know why that no one gives Miami Dolphins fans more crap. They haven't won a playoff game in 23 years. It was the beginning of the century, okay? The Jets, at the very least...
I was in kindergarten.
Yeah.
The last time they won a playoff game, I was in kindergarten.
That's what I mean. The Jets at least went to back-to-back AFC championship games and were on the doorstep of the Super Bowl twice. The Dolphins haven't done crap. They haven't won a playoff game, wild card, divisional, anything. They haven't touched anything. So I don't know why Dolphins fans get more crap. And like I said, the only reason I think I know the more I'm talking about it is because they're so friggin' irrelevant. The Jets, everyone loves talking about the Jets, but the Dolphins are like, whatever. Fair weather Florida team. They need to get some more crap. So strange.
And they had Dan Marino, arguably the greatest passer in NFL history, and they got 0 Super Bowls to show for it.
Yeah.
People want to make fun of the Green Bay Packers. Oh, well, you got 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks and 2 Super Bowls to show for it. Or I would take my 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks with my 2 Super Bowls than 1 Hall of Fame quarterback and 0 Super Bowls. So,
that's a fair point. By the way, here's who the guy is, apparently. Jared B. says he's the singer for Hootie and the Blowfish, which I think he's the guy that showed up on Mike and Mike back in the day, all that stuff. He's a country singer. And again, I'm going to be honest. I don't want to offend anybody, but, country singers, all they sing about is banjos, deers, and sleeping with their sister. I just, I don't get the country thing. It's just... a lot of yeehaw, this or that. So I'm going to be honest. I like any type of music, but country. Country it sounds like nails on a chalkboard to me. That's what I get.
Yeah. And then the other thing is that what year you became a Jet fan?
It was early 2000s. I'm not sure. It could have been.
Because I brought that up because I think. Vinny, you probably remember Vinny Testaverde, right?
Of course I do. Yeah.
Yeah, I think in '98 they went to the championship game and lost.
They did.
To the
Yes, against the Denver Broncos. They had a 10-0 lead. Yep. Thanks for bringing that up.
know you're
they
not
did.
a big
And then
John.
99, he blew out his Achilles. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're not a big John Elway fan, and me neither. But
Correct.
Is that
That's
why
also true.
you hate him?
No, not really. I mean, that doesn't help.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. There's just something about him. Like he had been a perennial loser his entire career. The number 1 overall pick thing of refusing to go to the team, the Baltimore Colts that originally drafted him. Like, he just kind of seemed like a douche. And then, like I said, he lost all the time until the end when he won the back-to-back Super Bowls. And then I don't know, just everything about him. I just don't like. I don't like his style. I don't like his play. I think he's overrated. I just, I don't know. A lot of things when you look at the John Elway picture. I just feel like he had a lot of great stuff around him. TD, Terrell Davis in the backfield, Pro Football Hall of Famer. I just think he had a lot of help.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't like him because he kicked my team's butt in the Super Bowl when we had Brett Favre.
There you go. Yeah.
But I don't. I mean, we should have won that game. We should have gone back to back, but it's just we couldn't stop Terrell freaking Davis, and Brett Favre kind of cost us too in that game with his aggressive play in the second half. But so many things went wrong in that game for the Green Bay Packers for them to lose. But trust me, like as Jet fans, you thought you had it bad. As Packer fans, we had it bad with heartbreaking playoff losses with the Seahawks game with the onside kick, and there's a bunch of like heartbreaking playoff losses as Packer fans that we don't like to talk about.
I imagine the NFC Championship against the Giants in that blistering cold with Tom Coughlin's head turning into a cherry with Brett Favre. That I think it was his last year before he pieced out. So that's another one. So there's a lot of them. And also Phil in here saying, didn't Eli do the same thing? Eli didn't lose Super Bowls. He went to 2 and won both of them against Tom friggin' Brady. So not the same category as freaking John Elway. I want to clear that up real quick, which, by the way, I know some Jet fans don't like the Giants, and I don't normally, but I appreciate Eli winning those 2 Super Bowls. I'd much rather those go in Eli's trophy case than Tom Brady's with 9 rings.
Yeah, well, that's the one thing that we can thank Eli for, that he stopped the Patriots for becoming a bigger dynasty.
Blessed be he.
We got to give him credit for that,
No doubt.
But hey, I mean, people want to call Tom Brady the GOAT. Is Eli Manning the GOAT because he beat the GOAT twice?
I think this will be a debate when it comes up when he's eligible. I think Eli Manning is an unquestioned first ballot Hall of Famer. And I've had some people try to debate that with me. He's top 5 in every major passing statistical category because he was an NFL Ironman, never got hurt rarely, and he was always in there. So all his numbers are there. He won 2 Super Bowls against Tom Brady. Again, without him, Tom Brady has 9 Super Bowls, so that helps. Now, the only thing that you could say against Eli in terms of like the Hall of Fame stuff is he was never considered the best quarterback in the game at any point of his career. So he doesn't have all pros or things of that nature. So if that's where you want to shade him, and the Hall of Fame is supposed to be for the best of the best, okay, I understand that part of it, but the rest of it seems pretty there. And that's what NY Jets FL says. The enemy of your enemy is your friend, and that's what the Giants were. Thank you.
Yep.
So.
Well, and then the one little nugget I want to bring up is that I think the Tariq Cohen thing is an underrated sign-in.
Okay.
I think he's an underrated. Like I think that's huge for special teams. I think because especially the new kickoff rule. I think if he's healthy and out there and returning punch field, I think that's big, especially if you want to get a good field advantage. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I hope so. Well, B-Mac, thanks for joining the show, buddy. Keeping your streak alive. I appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow, pal.
All right. Thank you.
All right, there he is. B-Mac joining us on the show. And I see what Phil was saying here. He was talking about Eli refusing to play for the Chargers. I agree. That was a dick move then, too. You should be lucky to even play in the NFL. To refuse to play for a team, that just seems like a dick move, Todd. But that's neither here nor there. Real quick, we're going to go to our final caller here. But over 700 friggin' people in the room. YouTube.com/BoyGreen25 people. Like the video, hit subscribe. Help the channel continue to expand. with your guys' help. I think the last time I checked, we're at 6.6 thousand subs. We're trying to get to 10K, baby. That's my big, juicy number I'm trying to sink my teeth into. So help me get there, baby. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Let's go to our aviator rockin' brother from another mother. That is Johnny Boy here on the program. What's up, Johnny?
What up, Broham? How you holding up, man?
Excellent, pal.
All right. Hey, so country music, give it a chance, bro. It's good. If you like
really
like that and all that, listen to a lot of don't listen to the stuff that's on the radio and all that. But there's a lot of stuff. Like, I'm a hip hop head, right?
Yeah.
So, salsa, reggaeton, merengue, you name it. That's all I'm about, right?
Okay.
I mess with some country music, bro.
What?
Like, country
wow.
music, good, dog. Listen to some Alan Jackson. I mean, dude, some Thomas Rhett. You need to give it a chance, bro. It's not bad.
I don't know who any of those people are, but I will have to take your word for it. You'll have to send me some of this stuff, I guess, if I'm going to torture myself with country music.
It's not bad, bro. A lot of it's very the lyrics are good, man. So some of the stuff they say is pretty dope. A lot of it's about drinking whiskey, getting drunk, and just being shit all day, which is awesome, right? So
yeah.
But and then going back to Jet stuff. So that was my take on the country stuff, right? And the signing.
Yes.
It's a good signing. Do I think the guy's going to stay with us? No, I don't. I think they're going to use the dude for a lot of his knowledge and give it to the Xavier Gibson. Give it to I think Izzy's going to be our second guy, man. To be honest, I've been saying it since the signing of those two running backs when we drafted them and everything. I mean, how many more injured-prone players are we going to truly bring? I know he's not injured anymore. Right?
Yeah, he's supposedly healthy now. We believe. I mean, or he couldn't have passed his physical to sign, I suppose. So yeah, it seems like he's healthy now. But I get your point. That's what someone said earlier in the show. Like, Jesus, like, how many injured guys are we going to get? Are we playing injured bingo here? What's happening?
Exactly. So it's one of those. I mean, I think, like, for example, Devin Hester.
Yeah.
Probably the best kick returner, punt returner of all time. Easy, right?
Yeah, I would say. Yep.
Okay, like, if there was an opportunity to bring dude onto this team, maybe to just be as a teacher on the field for that, and we get 20% of a Devin Hester with an Xavier Gibson or an Izzy or whoever else they use in the back, right? I would take it all day, every day. I mean, this new rule that they got going on for the special teams is going to change the game. It's going to see a lot more splashes. And I think Rich explained it very well yesterday in regards, like, you can't even the people can't even like block each other or touch each other until the actual kick returner touches the ball.
That's correct.
So we're going away from all those like real small guys that are like super, shifty, and more to the people that are going to be blocking and could take contact. I mean, don't even get it twisted where maybe Malachi Corley could be a surprise one over there because he's such a bruiser. That extent. So I just wanted to go ahead and say that, and I appreciate what you're doing, dog, and give country some slack, bro. It's not bad, dog. All of it's not bad. It's not all about, banging your sister and all this off the wall stuff that people think about. It's truly not, man.
I'll have to give it a spin. Johnny, enjoy your day, pal. That is... Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just, again, you are a product of your environment. It's funny that Johnny is the one that called in, right? Because he's brought his father on before. I'm a product of my environment. I've never heard my dad listen to country a day in his life. He is a classic rock guy. I'm a classic rock guy. I'm a hair metal guy. So go to Poison, Aerosmith, Motley Crue, the 80s. Like, that's me. And I'm a fan of hip hop. Literally dubstep, literally any music on the planet but country. And it's because, I say you're a product of your environment. My dad never listened to that. And that's why I'm where I'm at, I guess. All right, let's go to a YouTube super chat. Then we're going to wrap up the show here. Hear Me Out, our good buddy. He chimes in with a awesome super chat. Thanks, pal. Week 12, the resurgent Seahawks beat the 11-0 Jets, and both teams go to 11-1. Seattle's defeated the Packers in the NFC Championship is so good, almost as good as 28-3. Yeah, that was the onside kick, the flip, everything. That game changed. That is crazy. Wow. And your prediction for week 12, that matchup, the Jets will be coming off their bye. I will be very curious to see that. We'll see. But let's see, 11-0 Jets, both teams go 11-1. I mean, I would sign up for an 11-1 start, and our only loss being to an NFC team in Seattle. Okay, hear me out. We could do a virtual handshake on that one if we could sign up for that today. But yeah, sorry to any of the Packers fans like BMAC in here. That onside kick flip that changed the game. That was I'm still in shock. I'm gonna have to that's a good rewatchable game to go back and remember all the crazy crap that happened there. That is wild. What a wild game that was. Aaron Rodgers had he had the crazy shootout playoff game against the Cardinals where I think it ended. I'm pretty sure the Packers lost that game. They threw the pick six at the end that ended it. I mean, absolutely bonkers. Absolutely freaking bonkers. Well, speaking of bonkers, what a bonkers freaking show we just had here with 800 people in the room. You guys are crazy. For the people that are live, if you watch after the fact or the audio only version, we also appreciate you. Show your support no matter where you're watching. Again, liking the video, hitting subscribe, and spreading the good word. We'll be back on at 3 o'clock today. Me and Green Bean are reunited. It's the first time I've done a show with Green Bean in like a year, maybe. I don't know. It's been a long ass time. So we'll see you back at 3 o'clock to talk about the latest Jets OTA business and apparently his love song for Kenny Yeboah. God knows what could possibly happen. Hopefully we can see you guys then. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Take care. We'll see you.